Well, if you've ever been to Toronto's art crawl, you've probably run into Nadia Lloyd, or maybe you've seen her work elsewhere, because you're born and bred Toronto artist, right?
Actually, no, I'm born and bred in Montreal, and then my parents moved here when I was 12.
So you've been here for a while, and this is where this is your artistic base, where you work out of.
This is absolutely the space that inspires me the most, and that actually where I discovered that I had a real artistic side to myself.
Yeah, and you said it's kind of like your inspiration too, because you're known for your cityscapes.
I am. So I started painting 6 years ago. I had a fitness business at the time that I sold because I just burnt out. I didn't want anything to do with it anymore. It was getting too stressful. I needed a break, so I decided to sell it, and I found a great owner who's still managing it. And what came after that was time for rest and relaxation. And so I decided to take a year off and not rush into a next career, but take some time and decide try to find something that I would be passionate about. And within a few months into my vacation, I started to get a little bit restless. And so I thought I would redecorate the house. And I went out looking for paintings at Winners, and I found one that I loved, that I brought home, that I put up on the wall. And then I thought, you know what, I want to find another one to kind of have two that match side by side. And I would put one upright, one upside down. And I searched 5 or 6 Winners and I never found it. And then my husband said, well, why don't you just recreate it? And I thought, oh, what makes you think I can paint? I can't paint. And he said, well, I just have a feeling.
You never explored your artistic side to that point?
Never. So I was an entrepreneur. I would say I was an entrepreneur since a very young age. And it's only really now in retrospect that I understand that to be an entrepreneur, you have to be creative. But I would say that I was never an artistic person. So to actually pick up a paintbrush or to do photography or draw, I was always very business-minded and business-driven. So it really took selling in the fitness studio and having that downtime to explore other avenues in life. That's where I discovered my artistic side. So I started painting, it would have been in August of 2010.
So that first project obviously went very well.
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh.
It was a very humbling experience for me, because I quickly realized that there's no way that you can replicate an abstract painting. I mean, you probably can, but it would take an expert mind, I would guess, because I tried replicating that painting so I could have the two side by side. I tried doing it for weeks, and it's through the process of trying to replicate it that the passion was born.
And you found your own style.
And I found my own style, yeah. So I used to watch countless hours of YouTube and go on Google and search art, just art, not abstract, not figurative, just art, and quickly realized that I had a weakness for abstract, and I would spend hours watching other abstract artists paint live, and it kind of became my art school in a way, fine arts. So Google and YouTube kind of became my fine arts, and within about 3 or 4 months, I started to show my artwork to family members, and they all said, "Oh yeah, this is great, you're onto something." And I thought, honestly, they're telling me this because I'm the baby of 5. And they're like, yeah, it's good. Keep going. But then I had a chat with my sister, who is an art therapist and who has a master's in art, who actually said to me, Nadia, abstract is really hard to do. And if you ask me to do abstract, for example, I can't do it.
And she's the one who's got the degree.
And she's the one with the degree. She's great with portraits and other forms. But when she said to me, I can't do abstract, I said, come on. She said, no, honestly, it's really difficult, and it's either in you or it's not, and that's when I started to learn that it's true, composition and choices of colors.
So looking at this one, for example, classic abstract work, how did you put this together?
So when I paint, I never have an intention in mind.
You're standing in front of a blank canvas.
It usually starts with an urge. So it's all of a sudden I could be watching TV or I could be reading a book, and all of a sudden it's like, I gotta paint. It's this really strong urge. So then I'll gather my tools. I mean, I usually have my easel with my blank canvases and my paints. I usually prepare the easel. And then when I go to the paints, I always grab black and white. That's always at the base of everything that I do. And as far as the other colors that you see in my paintings, I go with gut. So it's like an inspiration and instinct that tells me what colors to grab. And then everything else after that is left to chance. I never have an intention of what I'm going to do. Even my cityscapes, which I'm known for, I don't usually have an intention to paint a cityscape unless it's commissioned. I just have an urge to paint. I get in front of the canvas, I grab my brushes. I usually grab a marker and do some doodling on the canvas because, and you can actually see a little bit of my doodling here. That allows me to turn off my left brain, turn on my right brain, and get into that space where it's clear and quiet and meditative. And then I just paint, and it's really not until I am then told by the powers that be. I've spoken to other artists, other painters who have the same process.
Yep.
It's like we're the medium. We're not the...
It's like it's almost coming through you.
100%. I feel like this piece wanted to exist, and I was simply the medium that allowed it to exist. But I almost feel like I can't take credit for where the talent comes from, or where the ability comes from. So I'll paint until the canvas tells me to stop, and I'm not even kidding. Like, it literally is like, stop, drop everything, step back. And usually I end up with something that's like, wow, where did that come from?
And now, because you're an entrepreneur and you can't stop creating, you've taken some of your works and transferred them into fashion.
I have. So very early on in my painting career, so I'd been painting probably just about less than a year, I said to my husband, I said, you know, a lot of people tell me they love my art, but they tell me maybe they can't afford it or they don't have a wall to put it on. And I want my art out there and I want people to enjoy it. How do I do that? And so I figured my first collection was a collection of cushion covers with my abstract art. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take my art, print it on cushion covers, and this will be one way to get my art out. It'll also be a way of helping people who maybe aren't interior design savvy. It'll help them redesign a space fairly easily because really they can just pull from any color from my abstract art and decorate a space based on that. So I did the cushion covers for about a year, and then after that came my collection of abstract art scarves, which then was followed by my leggings and skirts. So this is kind of spanning 3 years, and then this last 14 to 16 months, I've developed different ideas with some ideas that I wanted to explore, and so I...
Did you have any idea when you said, I'm done with this fitness business for now, that this is where you would be 6 years later?
No idea.
Art collections that you are showing in galleries, transforming into fashion and decor items.
I had no idea. It's been an amazing journey. I feel quite blessed. Oftentimes people say to me, you know, they can't believe the story. They can't believe that it's only been 6 years and that all of this has taken place in the last 6 years. But I believe I'm a very passionate person, number one. So when I fall in love with something, I need to explore it from A to Z and
it just flows.
Beyond. Yeah, and I mean, there are challenges. It's not all handed to me easily, but I've got a drive in me. That's the entrepreneur. So I'm really, really driven. And so when you combine drive and passion, it's like,
nothing will
just
stop
let
you.
me do what I got to do. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm complete in a way.
Well, tell you what, we want you to stick around because we want to get to the stuff that's behind us, which is really cool. So Nadia's going to stick around more with artist Nadia Lloyd, and we'll talk about this wonderful thing that you launched last week, and how we can go see your work and wear your work and decorate with your work. Check these events out in your community right now, and then we'll be right back with Nadia Lloyd. This is Toronto artist and designer Nadia Lloyd, who just 6 short years ago, was running a successful fitness business and said, I feel like a change. Now she's an artist, self-taught, with not only wonderful artwork to display on your walls, but now on your own body and in your home. It's just incredible what's happened. Last week you launched Toronto by Nadia Lloyd. Tell me about that.
I did. So I've been working with the abstract art and a combination of cityscapes that are also abstract cityscapes for a while. And I found that last year I was getting commissioned a whole lot to paint cityscapes, and it got to the point where I thought, well, I'm painting 4 all at once right now, and the canvases are really huge, 4 feet by 16 feet. How many more can I do? And perhaps it's time to find a way to also allow my cityscapes to be worn or adorn interior design in people's homes. So I had already done a scarf in the black and white design 2 years ago. It is actually.
Look at this.
It is. Here, I can actually take it right off because
Okay.
this one really needs to be opened up in order to be seen. So this is the first design, the first item of the Toronto by Nadia Lloyd collection. It's a silk chiffon scarf, 24 inches by 75, and I really premiered this at the One of a Kind show in the spring this year, and the ladies were just falling over themselves for it.
When you open it up and you see the cityscape,
Yeah.
it's breathtaking. And then the moment you put it on, it becomes this very fashionable black and white scarf.
It does, and it's got kind of an interesting print too, even if it's just kind of resting
right.
like this, because then it almost looks like keys from a piano.
It does.
You know, but then you open it up, and that's when you really get the wow factor. Or if you wear it on your back as a shawl.
I was just thinking exactly that.
Yeah.
And so now we see this cityscape showing up in all different areas.
Yeah. So I started with the scarf, and then sometime last year I just had an itch that I had to scratch, and so I started to. I already had a few of these items in my abstract collection. So, for example, I was already doing the cushions, the leggings, and the skirts.
Let's see. I want to just have a quick look at this cushion. Gorgeous. Is that what this is?
That's what that is. Yep.
So this is the cushion cover, and then here it is on the actual cushion.
And it's a lovely poly cotton blend, and it's super silky,
And then here's
very
the
low
cushion.
maintenance. I throw mine in the wash and the dryer.
Do you really?
I do. I'm very low maintenance. I throw it in the wash and the dryer with other colors, and it always comes out looking brand new.
Gorgeous.
And so from that point on, I decided, well, everybody needs to take Toronto on the go.
I'm going to put this on.
So
I
all
don't
right.
have cooties. Love
So
it.
this is Toronto on the go, which led to exploring in other ways. I thought, well, if I'm going to do a hat for the summer, I must do a beanie for the winter. Would you like to try that on as well?
Yeah, because when I'm in my street mode, then I need to look like I'm down with that.
Well, you look pretty down now. And I've actually got two designs. So this
I
one
love
here,
this. Look at that. It's fantastic.
this one here has a little bit more details from the buildings in my cityscape. So this one. So these are my two designs of beanies.
And you could wear these any time of year, right?
Pretty much. I've got a lot of bikers and runners actually who will buy them, especially those who say right early in the morning, for example, and just want a thin layer. They come in two styles. So there's the cotton and the bamboo insert. You've got the bamboo one, which is warmer for the winter. And this one here is a thinner fabric with just a cotton insert. So it actually will pull moisture away when you're sweating and keep you nice and comfortable.
If you don't want to wear it, you can hold it.
A collection can't be complete without an iPhone cover. This is actually the last item that I've added to my collection, and I'm so glad I did, because just the simplicity of the black and white, the sleek, glossy plastic is just so sexy. I'm on the phone and people are staring at me. That's pretty much.
Did you paint this scene, or is it a photograph?
No, so these it's a combination of photograph and artwork combined. So I take a picture, I pull it into my I pull it into my graphic design program, and then I tweak it and I work with it. So just recently, I've added this little number
Yes, you did.
to my collection.
It's a tote.
It's a tote for those who like to go shopping on the weekends, carry books, carry laptops, etc.
Yep. Got to have a reusable bag.
Gotta. And I'm going to show you these two before I show you these two, because I think these two are the ahas, or the wow factors. Lovely little tank top here. I actually launched this collection at the Liberty Village Art Crawl
Hold
last
that up
Saturday.
so we can see the CN Tower. Love
And
that.
the ladies went crazy.
Yeah.
And they're made in Toronto, which is great. I love to support Canadian businesses. So this is 100%.
And it's a
Toronto
wonderful
made.
way to show off your pride in Toronto without having a big touristy Toronto
Absolutely.
leather T-shirt.
Absolutely. It's I mean, you see it and you know what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for text, really. And what I really love about this Toronto collection, what I love about being an artist, is that when people see my art, there's a heartfelt reaction, and we have something in common that we can chat about. However, not everyone loves abstracts, so the market is somewhat limited. Whereas with this Toronto collection, the first words are usually, "Oh my God." And then after that, it's usually, I love it, I have to have it, I want it, where can I get it? So it's kind of...
Is it time for this now?
I think it is. I think we should show these are my, what's the word I'm looking for?
Favorite?
Well, or my, the pieces I'm most proud of.
Pièce de résistance.
Pièce de résistance. These really get the most comments and the most wow factor.
Because they're striking. So I've got the skirt, you've got the pants.
I've got the pants, and the pants are multi-purpose, so a lot of my clients will wear them at the gym, throw on a pair of pumps, and a leather jacket or a jean jacket, meet their friends for a cocktail.
Absolutely.
Both of them are poly spandex, so they're very comfortable. They're like a second skin. They go on and they can pretty much stay on all day and never
it's the same,
feel like they're
front and back.
They're bothering you.
So people are seeing Toronto coming and going.
Yes, they are. And the last piece here that I want to show you is my Toronto dress.
Oh my goodness. Where's the
CN Tower
tower?
right here.
Ah, there it is.
Right on the side dress, on the side of the
I love that you
dress
didn't put it right in the middle. It's got to be on the side.
Well, and it's funny too, when I'm designing, it's a lot of thinking and planning. You know, where's the CN Tower going to go in the T-shirt? You know, I tried not to put it in the center or off to the side. I wanted to have basically the most visibility. So.
And in the pants, you had to pick a leg.
I had to pick
You
a
had
leg,
to
but
pick a leg.
I don't know why I went with the right. It just did.
I cannot wait to see what you come up with next.
Well, you know, funny, people are asking me if I'm planning to do other cities, and I think the answer for now is that the Toronto cityscape speaks to my heart. So it's really a labor of love.
Can you step out in front again so that we can have a look at your skirt? If somebody does want to buy, of course, the cityscapes and maybe one of your abstract works, you've got more like that, right?
Absolutely. I actually have a collection of 7 scarves, 9 designs in leggings and skirts, all originating from different abstract pieces. They're all on my website.
Cool.
And for example, the one I'm wearing here is actually, this is the origin of the painting, and what I've done is I've put it into my graphic design program and tweaked the colors a little bit. But if you look at the lines, you'll see that they
all match up.
They all match up.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
And what a wonderful thing to feel like you're wearing a work of art, whether it's on your head or on your legs or throwing it on your couch. I mean, it's just incredible. So if you want to support Nadia Lloyd and her wonderful artwork, where should we go?
My website would be the first place to check out at www.NadiaLloyd.com. And aside from that, the Spacing store at Richmond and Spadina does carry a few items from my Toronto by Nadia Lloyd collection. And the McMichael Canadian Art Collection Gallery in Kleinburg carries my scarves. And Castle Life in Toronto will be carrying my cushions probably in the fall.
Fantastic. And we can see you at this year's Toronto Art Crawl?
Yep, you can see me on July the 8th at the Entertainment District, which is on King Street West, and the same again for August. And I run a company called Toronto Art Crawl, so I'm actually the founder of the company. I run different events throughout the year, and then we'll be doing a really big Christmas market at the Great Hall on November 20th.
Keep your eyes on this lady. No, NadiaLloyd.com for details on everything you saw today.